Okay, so today we're going to learn about some digital resources that you guys have access to through our school district. And I would like for you guys to tell me when I pull it up if you've ever seen this before or not. We're kind of to the time of the year where we have a little bit of freedom and flexibility with our schedules, and we're hoping to maybe let you guys do a little bit more choice boards and research type projects. But this is also something that is really great that you could use even at home. So if you're just interested in doing something, this is something that you'll have access to at home as well. So I'm going to show you how this works. So it's a digital resource. What does a digital resource mean? What does that mean, Marcella?
It means a resource online.
It means a resource online. Very good. Who can tell me something that parents and teachers and trusted adults worry about when we let kids get online? What's something that we worry about? Yes, ma'am.
Their safety.
Safety.
Maybe talking to people online.
That you shouldn't be talking to, people that you don't know.
Giving away information that they don't need to know about.
Very good. Very good. What else?
Commenting on YouTube videos.
Okay, maybe some comments or reading comments that might not be appropriate, right? What about maybe accidentally coming across something that's really not for your age, right? Something that may not be appropriate. So those are really important things, and I'm so glad that you guys know about them. That means you have some digital safety awareness, which is really important. But something that I really like about this, and the reason why I'd love for you guys to know how to access it, is because all of those things you just mentioned, we don't have to worry about. Okay, so it's reliable information and it's going to be safe. Okay, so let's dive in and look at it. First, I'm going to show you these are really my standards, so you guys know how we have TEKS and we usually understand what our objectives are. Okay, so these are for me. So my standards for this lesson are 3.1, providing a balanced, carefully selected and organized collection of library resources. So library resources are going to be things that you have access to, right? Maybe it's in print or online. This particular one is online. 3.2 is model and promote the highest standard of conduct, ethics, and integrity. Raise your hand if you recognize the word integrity. Yep. So this is on the use of internet and other print and electronic resources. So is that kind of what we just talked about, maybe being safe on the internet? Okay. And so the third one is 3.3, employ existing and emerging technologies to access, evaluate, and disseminate information for possible application for instructional programs. So the reason why I chose the site that we're going to be practicing on and using is because it's something that we already have access to, and many of us just haven't been aware and haven't used it. Okay, so here's our lesson objectives. I'm going to give you 1 second to read over those. Okay, so our lesson objectives are, these are the things that you're going to learn from doing this activity today. Okay, so number 1, what does it say?
Students will learn about text quests.
Very good. Raise your hand if you've heard of TextQuest or used it before. Okay, maybe 2 or 3. Okay, number 2, what does it say?
Students will learn how to access the electronic library resource.
Okay, so this is the electronic library resource. We don't know how to get to it. I'm going to show you how to do that today. Okay, the third one?
Students will complete a scavenger hunt activity to practice using this resource.
Raise your hand if you like scavenger hunts.
Yes.
Yes, we like scavenger hunts. Those are a lot of fun. So today, we're going to do a little bit of a different scavenger hunt. It's going to be something that we're doing online, okay? So it's going to be a digital scavenger hunt. All right, let me go back. I just realized I wasn't in the camera, so I have to go back. Okay, so where is it at, okay? So I told you that this is something that we have access to through our school district, okay? So I don't know if you guys recognize this logo right here, but it is the logo from our district website. I'm gonna try to adjust this real quick. That is the logo from our district website. So in order for you to find it, you're going to go to the WPISD.com, and I'm going to show you all how to do that in a few minutes. You don't have to do it yet. Okay? And then the program that we're going to be using, look at this cute little guy. This is what their logo looks like, and it's called TextQuest. Yes, ma'am. Okay, can you just hang on? Okay. Okay, so what is it? What is TextQuest? Why does Miss Fincher want you to know about it? Okay? So, here's me. I'm carrying a big old stack of heavy books, right? What is in all those books?
Information.
Things to learn and information, right? Do we have to carry that big old stack of books anymore to learn all that? No. Sometimes it's nice to have a book, right? As a matter of fact, I'm going to share a book with you in just a minute that we can learn from. Okay? But sometimes it's hard to have that many books and to get information from that many books. It's a little bit easier sometimes to learn from and to search online. So that's what we're going to learn about. Okay? So again, what is it? It's called TextQuest. Okay? There's a little, short little video. It's like a promotional video that we're going to watch. And it's going to tell you about TextQuest, and then I'm going to talk to you more about it. Where's my video? Let me try over here. There it is.
Cool cultures, historic happenings, and more with Gale in Context Elementary. You can search for something that interests you.
Okay, don't worry, I'll rewind it for you. The sound wasn't working right. Okay, now here's the video. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Learn about everything from creepy crawlers to famous figures, cool cultures, historic happenings, and more with Gale in Context Elementary. You can search for something that interests you, or browse the homepage to discover cool topics. Click a title or picture you like to learn more. Listen to articles from magazines and books.
Tornadoes. Main ideas. Tornadoes are slow.
Take items with you using the options in the tools bar and ace your homework. Explore Gale in Context Elementary on any device with an internet connection anytime you need information.
All right, raise your hand if that sounds exciting to you. Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? So you can get it. I'm going to show you first how to get to the Gale in Context Elementary, and then I'll show you all of the options because there's actually a lot of them. And then TextQuest is just one part of that. So I'm going to show you how to access all of it. And then once I show you how to get to it, I'll give y'all a few minutes to just kind of explore and see what you can find that might be interesting to you. And then these are some of the digital resources that you're going to have access to once I give you the login and the password. So we have National Geographic Kids, Britannica Kids, PBS Kids, Gale Elementary, Teaching Books, NASA Kids Club, and then Learn 360. So all of those have tons of resources, okay? So raise your hand if you like to listen to like digital books. So on a lot of these, there's going to be options to listen to books. There's also options to read magazines like National Geographic Kids. I'll show you that in just a second. And it has some really cool stuff in there, and you can actually read through the whole magazine. You can just flip through it digitally, or you can have it read to you, okay? And then PBS Kids, they have videos on there. One of the ones that I noticed that I know my students have liked in the past is like the Odd Squad videos and show. They have the full episodes on there that you can have access to. And then NASA Kids has some really cool stuff, especially if you're into anything to do with planets or the moon or the solar system or astronauts. And then Learn 360, I actually gave you guys a game that we're going to get to play today on Learn 360. That's going to be one of the things that you get to explore at the end of the lesson. Okay? So, any questions so far? Are y'all ready to see it?
Ready.
Ready to see it? Awesome. Okay.
I have a question.
Okay, so let me minimize this real quick, and I will pull up the district website. Okay, so here's our website. Okay, this is what the district has for us. So you guys can access this just by going to wpisd.com. Okay, so when you go to that, you're going to go to students. Okay, because you can remember that easily, right? Because you are a student. So when you click on student, it drops down a little menu. Okay, and the menu choice you want to find is the one called Research Tools. Okay, so this is a great site for you to do research, but it's also great if you're just interested in something and you want to learn more about it or read some online books. There's also videos. Okay, so for Research Tools, okay, so this is what it looks like. This is the Gale products that you have access to. Okay, there's a lot on here that I did not even explore yet. The main one I want you to look at is going to be Gale in Context Elementary. Okay, because you guys are considered elementary age. See, they have Gale in Context High School, Middle School, Health and Wellness, things like that. You could explore those maybe at a later time, but I would not worry about going to the high school or middle school yet until you're students at those schools, okay? So for us, we're going to focus on the Context Elementary. Okay, now here's that cool website that we just saw, okay? And it has the little text quest thing right here in the corner. All right, so we have topics. So you can look at the topics that they have. Okay, so look at some of these topics. We have animals, literature, people, plants, science, geography, arts and music, social studies, sports, technology, and science. So lots of things that we could explore. So right now, I know in science you guys are learning about plants, right? So if I click on plants, it's going to give me information about plants and then related topics. Now, some of the topics, when you click on them, it gives you a lot more. This one just has a couple of choices, okay? So you could learn more about plant-related subjects, trees, or types of plants. Now, if we want to go back, you just click All Topics. Okay, so let me show you one that has a lot more choices. So I think animals is always one that's going to be fascinating. Do you see how the circle for animals is full? Mm-hmm. So there's a lot more for you to explore about animals. So the central idea is animals, but then off of animals, excuse me, we have pets and farm animals, reptiles and amphibians, animal-related subjects, birds, dinosaurs, and extinct animals, fish and sea, and then insects and other invertebrates. Okay. All right. Now, what if you wanted to search something that you already have in mind that you want to learn about? Okay. So what if you want to search? You would just click up here in the little search bar and you could type in a topic that you wanted to see if they had information about. Okay. All right. So now that's for topics. So that's finding what you want to learn about, right? The next part is going to be books. So again, you could search by topic. There's biographies, education. Here's a little book called Let's Go to the Library, Funky Fractions. Here's some books on the environment, healthy eating, better hygiene. These are all really good general reference books. Here's some history books. Okay, you're also going to be able to choose by your reading level. So if you click on something and it seems a little bit too complicated, it'll give you different reading levels. So you can choose that when you choose a book. Okay, news, There's news, pictures. Okay, so if you're interested in looking for some specific pictures, we have a lion in the grass, Asiatic black bear traveling by motorcycles. Okay, here's videos. You could search videos by typing in something that you wanted to learn about. Okay. Producers, consumers, and decomposers. That's probably something that you were just recently learning about in science, right? So you could get more. And then here's a magazine section. Okay, here's all those National Geographic kids. There was a few of these that I had already flipped through because I thought that they were just really interesting. And it even tells you when it was published. They add stuff to this all the time. So like it's always being updated. So this is the whole thing from all the way up to January 2025. And then if you wanted older editions, it goes back a little bit farther. Let's see how far it goes. Okay, so here's magazines all the way back to 2016. So you have lots of choices if you wanted to find something to read about. Okay? All right, so this is all on the elementary. Then we have this. Okay? And watch this.
Oh. That is so cute.
Okay, isn't that cute? He runs over there, and then I can make him chase him.
That's just wait, what if you click both of them at the same time?
I don't think you can.
Oh.
Woo! He just took off. Okay? All right. So on here, these are all of your different resources that you can find. Again, videos, science and math, magazines and journals. Lots of things that you can learn about on here. This is the Britannica School that I told you. So that's like researching from an encyclopedia, okay? If you really want to learn about a topic and get information. Learn 360 has a lot of different videos and multimedia. This is something that the teachers have access to, and we can send it to you on Google Classroom, which is what I did. I found you guys at Angles Game, and I shared it with you on Google Classroom, and you guys are going to get to do that in a little bit. But I got that from Learn 360, and it's really cool because if you know how to get to your Google Classroom, which you all do, then we can share specific things with you from here. We can share articles, we can share videos, books, anything that we want you to read or learn about. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
On this, what do you click on as students?
Go to students and then research tools.
Oh, I can show it.
Okay, so then we have National Geographic. You guys remember me talking about NASA Kids Club? This is the link for that. Okay, so I know some of you will be interested in this. And then teaching books is another one. So these have books and magazines, and this has lots of videos and cool pictures and articles. Okay? All right. So this is what the website looks like. So Find gives you this page. Okay, Explore. Here's some scavenger hunts. I actually just chose the top one, so we're going to be doing that in a few minutes about bees. Play, there's really not anything on here other than these. You can click them and print them out to color them. So you're really going to spend your most time in either Find or Explore. Okay? All right, so let's go back to that's not it. Let me go back to my presentation. I think it got closed up. Okay, let me get back to where we were. Okay, so here's where we are. So since it's springtime, we're going to learn about bees. So I'm going to do a quick little read aloud. And then you guys are going to get to do the scavenger hunt and explore more about bees. Okay, so I got this book from our library. It's a series, and it has books about ants, bees, butterflies, dragonflies, fireflies, grasshoppers, ladybugs, and even termites. Okay, so this one is bees. We have a table of contents. insect world. Millions of insects live throughout the world. They are found on the ground, in the air, and in the water. Some have existed since before there were dinosaurs. Bees are one type of insect. They live in many different places, including jungles, woods, and fields. You may even find bees in a city or in your backyard. A bee's body. Like all insects, a bee has 3 main body parts. There are the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. A bee's head has 5 eyes, 2 antennae, and a special tongue. The antennae help the bee smell. The tongue is called a proboscis. Bees use it like a straw to suck nectar from flowers. A bee's 6 legs and 4 wings connect its thorax. Many bees have pollen baskets on their back legs. The bee's abdomen holds important organs. Here's a little diagram that shows you the parts of the bee. A bee's life. There are many types of bees. Most bees live alone and care for themselves. They are called solitary bees. Bees that live in colonies are called social bees. These bees build a nest to share, and they work together to feed and protect their colony's young. Okay, as life begins, a bee goes through 4 different life stages. These stages are egg, larva, pupa, and adult. All bees begin life as an egg. Honeybees lay eggs in honeycomb cells. Other types of bees lay eggs in different kinds of nests. In the egg, a worm-like larva forms. Then the larva hatches from the egg. It has no legs or wings. Adult honeybees feed larvae a special food called royal jelly. Other types of bee larvae eat bee bread left behind by their mothers. Bee bread is a mix of pollen and nectar or honey. When the larva has grown enough, it spins a cocoon. A pupa forms inside the cocoon. Later, an adult bee will crawl out. Okay, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. This one's a pretty cool page. It talks about the queen bee. Social bees live in colonies. Different species live differently. But most colonies have 1 queen, many female workers, and a few male drones. Honeybees are a type of social bee. The honeybee queen is the colony's leader. She lives 1 to 5 years. During her life, the queen mates with different drones. A single queen may lay thousands of eggs. They're very different sizes, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, so worker bees. Most social bees are female worker bees. They do important jobs in the colony. They help build the nest. Others care for the queen and her young. Still, other workers collect food. Many worker bees change jobs as they grow. Okay, so we'll finish the book later because I want you guys to have time to do the scavenger hunt, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you one more time how to access the resource. So if you have not already opened your Chromebook, go ahead and open up your Chromebook. You're going to go to the WPISD. Okay. So we're going to do the scavenger hunt and see what you guys can learn about on that. Okay, we'll go over your answers at the end. Okay, so raise your hand if you need help getting to the WPISD website. And then remember, once you get to that, you're going to have a header across the top. You're going to choose student and then research tools. So raise your hand and I can come help you if you need help. Okay, so here, you're just going to type. Okay, so go to home here. And then I think you got it from there. Okay, if your neighbor is able to, good job. You guys are all already in. Good. You're in. Good. I'm just going to Yep, you're good. Perfect. Okay, once you get there, I'm going to come by and give you the scavenger hunt, and we're going to go over it real quick so you understand what to do. Here you guys go. you go, ma'am. Welcome. You need one more paper over here? Okay, and you can work with your neighbor, just someone that's right next to you. If you would like to, if you want to work by yourself, that's okay too. You'll each have your own paper.
I was not.
Okay. All right, so let's read the top for the instructions. It says, bees are an important part of many ecosystems or communities in nature. They pollinate flowers and produce honey. You're going to access Gale in Context Elementary to answer the following questions about bees. Okay, so on here it has 5 different activities that you're going to do, or 5 different steps to the scavenger hunt. Okay, it has 5 different steps to the scavenger hunt. So the first one, it's going to tell you specifically where to go for each part. So it says from the topics part of the home page, you're going to click on animals. Okay, so go to the Gale in Context Elementary. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to type in, oh, you already have it. Okay, so type in the password that's on the board back there. Okay, so when you go to topics, remember when I showed you animals on there? Let me see if I can go back to it. Help you out a little bit. Okay, so if you're at this page, you could go to here. You're going to go to topics. You're going to go to animals. Okay, and then you're going to read on. It's going to tell you where to go. It says, then choose insects and other invertebrates. Okay, so do we see that on here?
Yes.
Okay, right here. So you're going to choose that. Then what does it say to do? Finally select what? Bees. So we're going to scroll down. We're going to look for the one where it says bees. But these are all of our choices that you could learn about. Okay? Interesting that most of these were on our book, wasn't it? Remember when I read you the back of the book? It said ants right here. Bees. Butterflies. Even in order. Dragonflies right here. Okay? So a lot of these are also on here. Okay, so then once you select bees, it's going to bring you all of the choices for you to learn about bees. Okay, so this is where it's important that you find, do they want you to use a book article? Do you see on number 1 where it says book article? Okay, so then that's where you're going to be. The heading is right here. So for book article, it says there are many kinds of bees. Click on the first book article. So you're going to click on this one and you're going to read about it and you're going to find what are the 3 types of bees and you're going to put your answer. Okay, and then the second part says source. So the source is going to be where did you get it from? Okay, you didn't know that information on your own necessarily. You had to get it from somewhere, so that's what you're going to look for. Let me go back. I clicked the wrong thing, I guess. There we go. Okay, if you need to change this is for the sound. If you don't have headphones, don't put the sound on. If you want the font to be smaller or bigger, you can. If you want to change the font, you can also do that. Okay, they also have a dyslexia font. Okay, so you can change it to the dyslexia font if you have that accommodation. Okay, so you're going to read about it. Go ahead and answer. So I'm going to pause the video for a little bit while you guys go ahead and work on steps 1 through 5 of the scavenger hunt. Okay, is there any questions? You're having trouble getting in? Okay, I am not sure what you went to, sweetie. Just go to
WPIS.
No, because I put Minnows one in the shower and then I put them right there. So what do I do?
There you go. What? Those are probably yours.
No, those are Emmanuel.
Oh, they're Emmanuel's?
I set here.
Okay, we'll just leave them there for now. We'll have to figure it out in a minute.
No, I sat right there.
You sit in Emmanuel's.
Yeah.
And then you sit right there. But she couldn't go while the camera was doing it. She would have to go around it.
Yeah, we're not worried about that right now. I need you to have a seat. And I think those probably are yours because if he followed directions earlier, he already put it in his backpack. Okay, but we'll take care of that in a minute, please.
I can't find headphones.
Okay, so you want animals? Perfect. Good job. Yep, that's right.
I got them for my friends back in my
That would be on the top. Hey, raise your hand if you've already got 2 of the questions done.
No.
Okay.
It's your dad. It's not your dad.
Find it in the article.
Wait, oh, you can use that. No, just an information.
Yeah, that's a type of bee.
It's a queen bee, honey
Cameron, you want to be in the article or whatever it's asking you to be and to get the information?
But there is a worker at
Okay, so follow the directions. It'll tell you which thing to get the answers for each one. Okay, well, a beekeeper is a person that takes care of bees. See right here, it says beekeepers are people who raise bees. Okay, you can scroll down and see if it has more information. Every bee has a job, life cycle. What are the other titles?
It says bees collect nectar from pollen flowers.
That's a big big jungle.
Helps change the nectar into honey. So they like swallow it.
Bees are though.
Is Fincher is a garden so well, there's something.
It tells you specifically which article, so you're supposed to be in book article number 1 for question 1. Okay,
Yeah, these are definitely.
that looks like a magazine.
No, it's not.
It's the next page of it. Okay, gotcha. Just making sure you're in the right spot.
Miss Fincher, what's the source? National Geographic.
Okay, so if you go down to the bottom, it gives you the citation. Scroll down to the bottom. Source citation. You write part of it. There.
Yale Elementary
Where's the picture
Right that.
section?
And you can stop here. You don't have
And
to
what does that mean on the smell?
Yeah, so you don't have to write the link. But right there.
Why does it say click?
Yes, sir. Okay, don't just put Yale as your source. Look down here at the bottom. See right here? That's what you're going to write. But you only have to write the first part.
So Yale Elementary.
Yes. You guys doing okay? Steven, you rocking and rolling?
I'm writing the source.
Very good. Good job. That's a very good practice for you guys to be in. The more and more you do research and you have to do projects and write papers and things like that, you're going to have to understand how to do those citations. Absolutely. Yes. Your middle school teachers are going to be very excited that you already know how to do that.
We're gonna be doing essays. I know.
I write down all the time. Miss Fincher, my brother, he's in 5th grade. He had to write an essay about how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And my brother, I wondered, my mom was like, I wonder how he wrote that. I don't know, 'cause he uses the same spoon to dip the peanut butter.
I don't.
Okay, let me just show you another real quick feature. So if you want to cite, you guys were asking me about the source. Okay, so if you were putting this information into like a research paper, or if you were making a presentation or something, you can actually just choose the type of sourcing that you want, and you'll learn more about that later. The one that I typically use is the APA 7th edition. But that gives you the information. It tells you exactly where the information is from. You can choose this and just copy it into your research. Okay? You guys aren't working on it like that, so that's why I told you guys to just write it down. But that's your citation. You can also share this, download it, print it. You can also highlight. I forget it won't let me highlight on the screen. Okay, so if I wanted to highlight that, I could choose it, and then I could also make a little note right here. And I could just type it in. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay, so now you're going to go to the picture section. So go back out and go to the picture section of the piece. Okay, so scroll up. So here's book articles. Go back to that side. Okay, now keep going. There's going to be a section of pictures underneath. Keep going. Right there, pictures. So you're going to choose one of those like it says. Yes, on one of them you do draw it. I believe the draw it is number 4. Number 4 says draw a cartoon.
Number 2 also says
A beautiful
one picture you think is in so number 2.
The picture section, you'll have to go back out to the top where you first clicked on this article, and it'll have books, magazines, videos, pictures, so you'll go to the picture section. Yes, sir. here, pictures. The picture section is right before the videos. What does it tell you to do? Choose one that you think is interesting. So you get to choose which one you like. Okay, so when you're looking at the picture, what do you think you would be? If you were in that picture, what would you see? What would you hear? What would you smell? Using your senses. Good job. I see you using the highlight tool. Great job. Okay, just a few more minutes and then we'll go over a couple of the answers.
I didn't know people eat these.
Yeah, that's what I'm putting.
Because this one is not even, I didn't know people just make my hair flat. Yeah, people.
Okay, so are they making nectar or are they using nectar to make something else? What is the caption? Using nectar to make honey. Yes, so they're actually making honey. They get the nectar from the flowers to make honey. Good job. Thank you.
Wait, so can I put ICBs?
You could put ICBs making honey. That would be a correct statement.
Okay,
So if they're making honey, what would you smell?
this picture, I need some honey.
Like sugar. Sugar or something sweet, right?
I restated the question.
I love that. Good job. Yeah, so I would put on this one and just write that. Yeah, you don't have to write all this under my finger, just the very top line. You. Okay, let's stay on task. You're like, right my battery glass. Okay, so, all right, so are you on this one? These are the sections from the actually navigate the news articles. So now you're going to go back up and you're going to go to a news article.
Wait, I know. Really? It's mine. So I hear buzzing. Where's the source on it?
Oh, news. So you're going to find this kids.
Yes, it's Fincher.
What are some kids?
Maybe we don't write down.
How do you get to the what?
On the pictures,
Okay.
What do we write down for the source for the picture one?
Okay, so when you go to the pictures,
Yeah, what's the source for the pictures?
okay, so let's go back to these. Okay, so we have book articles, books. For one of them, you're going to have to go to the news article here. Okay, here's the pictures. I'll just choose this one. Okay, so it says bees and flowers. Here's the citation right here for the picture.
Can I change that? Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Would you click on the picture? So which picture?
And this, what does the caption on this picture say?
These
Pollinate flowers. Yes, so when they fly from flower to flower.
You write your source. Do you like these? Don't do those. You just do a little bit of it. You don't have to do all of it. Just write over that.
Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap it up. You guys, we're going to share out what we've learned from navigating through the website. and what we've learned about bees. So let me go ahead and go to the next part of the slide. All right, so it says, let's review your answers. Okay, so let's talk about the answers to the scavenger hunt. Okay, so for number 1, Leo, can you read number 1? What did you put for your answer on number 1?
3 types of bees: bumblebees, honeybees, and stingless bees.
Very good. So we have bumblebees, honeybees, and stingless bees. Okay, and what did you write down the source for that? What did it say for the source? You can just read the top part.
Bees.
Uh-huh.
Gal Elementary.
Yep, Gale Elementary Online Collection. Very good. Okay, and then number 2. Raise your hand if you want to share out what you found for number 2. Okay, Izzy?
The question says, click on a picture that you like, and it says, what can you see, hear, and smell? And I had wrote that I see and smell honey and the sugar that's in there, and I see the bees making the honey.
Okay, very good. Anybody else want to share what they put on number 2? So you got to find a picture that was interesting to you. Summer, what did you put?
I smell bees making honey. I hear buzzing, and I smell flowers blooming in the grass.
Okay, very good. All right, one more person that can share out what they put on number 2. Okay, go ahead.
I see bees putting honey in the hive. I hear buzzing and wings flapping. I smell honey and pollen.
Okay, very good. Nice job. All right, so number 3. Steven, can you share out what you put for number 3, please?
Growing native vegetables and flowers in a local community garden. Selling bracelets to raise money for charity. And raising honeybees in the backyard.
Okay, very good. Awesome. Okay, what about number 4? Ooh, what did we do on number 4? We got to draw bees, didn't we? Okay, if you were able to draw your bee, raise your hand. I'm going to come by and take a little peek at it really quickly.
I'm drawing it.
Okay. Aw, very cute. You guys drew some great ones. Oh, okay. Interesting take. All right.
I think I drew a demon more than a bee.
Okay, all right. So what about number 5, the last one? Okay, Autumn, what did you put?
Wasps don't have hair on their bodies, don't collect pollen or make honey, and they don't make wax to build honeycombs.
Okay, very good. All right, and then on the source for that, you guys actually had a couple different articles you could have chosen from. One helpful article was Wasps, Plants, and Animals on the Gale Elementary Online Collection. Raise your hand if you used that one. Okay, all right, awesome. Okay, so did you guys learn some interesting things about bees?
Yes.
All right, what do you guys think about the website, the resource that I introduced you to?
Good. I like it.
You like it? Have you been to it before now that you've seen it and you got to go explore it? Okay, so do you think you can find it again on your own if you want to go back and explore and use it?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. All right, so one last thing I want you guys to get to play, because remember I told you that teachers can actually put things on your Google Classroom specifically for you to do. So I know this doesn't have anything to do with bees, but it does have to do with what you're working on in math right now. So I put a Angle Invaders game for you on your Google Classroom. So you guys can go to that and you guys can play the game. And just know that that's just one of the many, many educational games that you can find on that Learn 360. Okay? All right, you're going to go to Google Classroom.
So cool.
Yep, so cool. I'm glad you guys like it.